Hey everybody, and welcome to episode number 8 of the Ask Coach Nino Villa show. I wanted to start this episode off by saying Happy New Year. 2017 is upon us. We're a couple weeks in, and already things have started off with quite a bang. There's a lot of good things, a lot of exciting things, a lot of new opportunities, but there's a couple of unique challenges and a couple of uncertainties that lie ahead as well. But I want to start off by sharing some good news of the new year. See, in episode 4, I told you that I had been laid off. And I told you that although it was a surprise, I wasn't worried and I wasn't mad. And that I knew that God was going to provide. I might not have known how, I might not have known when, but I knew that He would provide. And so I wasn't even sure what I was going to do. Was I going to venture into self-employment full-time with this passion project of financial coaching? Or was I going to pursue another 9-to-5 with a new employer? Well, God has provided on the self-employment front, and not in a way that I necessarily saw coming. Yes, He has helped me to grow my clientele on the financial coaching, and that is awesome. He has also provided me with an opportunity to take what I've learned in my years of corporate training and turn that into a freelancing opportunity as an instructional designer. And so God has really opened up this opportunity for me to be self-employed on 2 separate fronts. And it's really, really exciting. And I'm so grateful, and I'm humbled at the opportunity. But that's enough about me. Let's get into your questions.
Megatron asks, is it really necessary to budget almost every penny? What if I want to save?
Thanks for the question. I love the handle, by the way. Megatron, the answer to your question is really, really simple. Yes. Yes, 100%. You need to tell every penny where to go. That's what it means to be budgeting. But remember that your budget includes savings. So I want you to be planning for savings. I want you to tell your budget how many dollars need to be saved and what those dollars need to be saved for. So I'm following Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover and his 7 baby steps. Baby step number 1 is to have $1,000 in the bank for emergencies. So if you don't have that, I want you saving up for that. Baby step 2 is to pay off all your debt. And so since that's where I am and I'm paying off my debt, I'm not saving above and beyond the $1,000 today, but I will later in the future. But that doesn't mean that you can't have other savings goals. So maybe you want to save up to buy an appliance or an electronic or a piece of furniture. Well, you're allowed to have those savings goals, and I want you saving for those and saving up and paying cash. But you need to tell your money where to go, and so that becomes part of your budget. It's not outside of your budget.
Laine asks, what happens to the money left over from an estimated budget item?
Hey Laine, thanks for the question, and I just realized that you used my own example against me, and I love it. So in one of my videos where I was doing my budget, I said I was trying to save up $70 for a car alignment, and you are asking if it only cost $62, but I saved $70, what would I do with the extra money? And so I want to answer that particular scenario and the question around, a $70 alignment or saving $70 for an alignment and only spending $62. But I also want to answer for other scenarios where you have a surplus, you budgeted way more than what you actually spent, because the answer is going to be different depending on the amount. Okay, so in this particular scenario, I can't sit here and tell you that I remember what I did with that $8, but most likely that $8 became a treat, because when you budget say $70 for a car alignment, and you only spend $62, and you have a very small surplus of like $8, well, I want you to take that $8 and I want you to treat yourself and reward yourself for coming in under budget. And so maybe you take that $8 and you buy yourself lunch that day, or maybe you take the $8 and put it in with your pocket money or your grocery fund. So it doesn't much matter. It's a very small surplus, and so reward yourself and kind of do whatever you want with that $8. Now, that same logic does not apply to larger surpluses. And so let me give you a couple of examples. Let's say you were saving up to replace the tires on your car. And let's say you were going to budget $400 and you saved $400 to replace the tires on your car. And now when you go to replace those tires, maybe there is a smoking deal, or maybe you just don't have to replace all 4 and you only replace 2. And for whatever reason, maybe you only spend $200 replacing tires. So you budgeted for $400, you saved $400, but you only spent 2. I do not want you to take the same logic that applies to $8 and apply it to $200. When you have a $200 surplus, that money can now be used to either aggressively pay down debt, and so just throw that towards the next debt in your debt snowball. A credit card, a student loan, paying an extra $200 on that would be great. Or apply it to a savings goal that you have. And so maybe you are trying to save up for an appliance or an electronic or some furniture, and $200 will go a long way towards helping you to reach that savings goal. And so I want you to reallocate those dollars to help you achieve some financial goals when it's a larger amount like $200. But when it's a small surplus like $8, well then, feel free to reward yourself in that particular scenario, with, like I said, lunch or throwing it in with your pocket money or what have you. Now, a real quick side note for anybody out there who thinks, hey, so I'm going to budget high and always come in low, and I'm going to make the difference small, right? So I know full well that the oil change is $30, but I'm going to budget 50, and then I'm going to take that 20 and I'm going to do whatever I want with it. Don't do that to yourself. You're just fooling yourself. If you want an extra $20 spending cash, just throw it in with your pocket money from the get-go. Don't always budget over when you full well know exactly what it's going to cost up front. And so I hope that helps. Like I said, in the $8 scenario, treat yourself. In a $200 surplus scenario, reallocate those dollars to help you to achieve one of your other financial goals.
Joseph asks, are there any tips that you have on negotiating cell phone, internet, and TV bills?
Hey, Joseph, I definitely have a tip for you, and it's not so much negotiation as there's this one simple thing that you can do that is going to help you to reduce your monthly expenses on things like car insurance, your internet bill, your cable or satellite bill, on your cell phone bill. It's really simple. You don't even necessarily have to negotiate. But what you do need to do is you need to call. You need to call these service providers and see if you can get better rates. And I will give you a couple of examples. I have done this with my car insurance. I called my auto insurance a couple of years back when I saw that my premiums were increasing. And I said, hey guys, I've been with you for like 10 years. I see that my rates are increasing and they're increasing significantly. What's going on? I need to have a better premium than this. And of course they went on to educate me on how insurance works, but that's not what I needed. I just wanted to talk to somebody who was going to understand that I've been a long-time customer. I had no claims. And so I wanted better rates. And so it was about a 20-minute conversation. I will tell you that I benefited greatly from being with them for a very long time. And that's going to be kind of key as to how well these service providers are going to cut the rates. Is the longer you've been with them, the more they're going to want to retain you. They don't want to have to replace you as a customer. They much rather retain you. And so if it means giving you better rates, they're going to do everything in their power to do that. And so I called the car insurance company, and after a 20 or 30-minute phone call, my rates were reduced by 21%. And so I don't remember the numbers now, but I mean, after I got off the phone, I think I was paying $65 a month. Okay, and so, and that's with really good coverage. That's full coverage. Even though I'm not financing the car anymore, I still carry full coverage auto insurance. And so, I mean, we're talking like smoking. I felt like I got a smoking deal. Okay, and so I felt like they took really good care of me, and I continued to be a customer of theirs. I did the exact same thing with our internet provider. So I called the internet provider. I said, and here's one of my negotiating tactics or whatever, but I like to kill people with kindness. And I don't blow smoke, but I definitely let them know that I appreciate the service that they are providing, right? I've never had a problem with my internet. So when I called and I said, hey guys, I really like your service. I like the internet that I'm getting. I just don't like your prices. that was a very genuine statement. I had never had a problem with them. I very much enjoy my internet. I just didn't like the prices. And so I had been with that company for a while. They got me over to the loyalty department, got to talk to somebody, and not only did my bill go down, my service went up. Okay, so my bill went down and my internet speeds actually went up because I got some promotional pricing on like the next tier, and it was like for 2 years without a contract. But if I moved up to that new tier, I would get the promotional pricing for 2 years. And so I got faster internet for lower money. So definitely make the phone call. Did the same thing with the satellite provider. But you also have to be willing, when you make this call, you also have to be willing to walk away. So when we called the satellite provider, we were under contract and I knew I wasn't going to walk away right then, but I wanted to get the bill down. And so they found some additional discounts. And again, I just told them, like, I love the service you provide. I love the programming and all this stuff that I get to watch, but I don't like the prices. And again, loyalty department got me a awesome savings. But I even told them that, like, once the contract was up, I was going to want to cancel. And they hear a word like cancel, and they're going to go above and beyond to kind of retain you. So even though I was in contract and I couldn't cancel that day, they still found me extra savings because they don't want you to cancel. But then, like I said, you have to be willing to walk away, which I actually did do with the cell phone carrier. So we went to the cell phone carrier, same thing. You know, the prices are just a little out there. We were paying like $156 a month, just rounded up to $160, paying $160 a month for 2 phones. And I wanted a better rate, and they couldn't get me a better rate. So I left and I switched from that carrier to another carrier. And now my wife enjoyed 2 phones with unlimited talk, text, and data for $80 a month, and have done so over the last 2 or 3 years, ever since we left the other carrier. And so sometimes you have to be willing to leave. More often than not, you're going to be able to stay, and through your loyalty, you're going to get better rates. But sometimes you have to be willing to leave and go to a whole nother provider to get better rates. But you have to be willing to leave. And sometimes you have to be willing to just let go. Sometimes you have to look at something like a satellite service, and if you're outside of contract, you might have to ask yourself, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it to keep it? You know, do I really get that much out of it? Does it bring that much enrichment into my life that I want to continue to pay for it? And sometimes you have to just be willing to let go. So no real negotiating tricks, but just the act of calling, killing them with kindness, complimenting them where they deserve to be complimented. You know, if you like the service, if you like the programming, if whatever that is, let them know that. Let them know that you don't want to leave, but you're not comfortable continuing to pay such high prices, and they're going to do everything in their power to get you a better rate. So give it a try, give them all a call, and let me know how it works out for you.
Coach's Tip of the Week.
All right, everybody, I wanted to start a new thing for the new year called Tip of the Week. And this week's Tip of the Week is going to floor you. For anybody who has made New Year's resolutions, I want you to throw them out. I want you to throw them out because words matter. And the word resolution means to make a firm decision to do or not to do something. Well, I don't want you to make firm decisions to get a handle on your money. I actually want you to get a handle on your money. So I want you to set goals instead. And I want you to set really specific goals. Like, if you don't have your $1,000 emergency fund in place, set a goal to have your $1,000 emergency fund in place by February 28th. And then detail how you're going to get there, because a goal without a plan is just a dream. So set your goal and then figure out what your plan is. And so you're going to get your $1,000 emergency fund by February 28th by selling things online, by having a garage sale, or by cutting those monthly expenses enough that you can save the money to get your $1,000 emergency fund in place. Another goal you could be setting for yourself is to just simply get on a written budget. And to do that, you can download my budget template for free, and you can even schedule your free consultation with me to get you started off. All right, so there's your tip of the week. Throw out your resolutions, instead set goals, and there's 2 goals that you can easily set for yourself. Get your $1,000 emergency fund in place by the end of February, and if you're already there, but you're still not writing your budget down on paper on purpose every single month, well then you can download my budget template for free and even schedule your free consultation with me. That does it for this episode of the Ask Coach Nino Villa show. Be sure to submit your questions. You can do that in the comments below. You can also tweet to me at Coach Nino Villa on Twitter and use the hashtag AskCoachNinoVilla, or message me on Facebook. Any way that you want to ask your questions, be sure to submit them so that I can answer them on a future episode.